Hi, hello, a very happy good afternoon. So this is Krishnaveni and we've been talking about the story of life on earth, and that's biology. So Hansh, hi, hello. So thank you so much for joining my session. So Satya, hi. So for a long time I haven't seen you, I guess. Were you there on Saturday? I don't remember seeing you, but still thank you so much for joining my session. Hi Vinu, yes, a very happy good afternoon. So hope you all had a nice weekend. Yes. So did you all enjoy your weekend? So was the evening session on Saturday interesting? Yes, so 6:30 to 7:30 we were having a recap of your morphology. So was that useful to everyone? So today we are going to talk about the last chapter in your unit ecology, that is environmental issues. So after this topic we come to a successful end of ecology. So we are just left with reproduction, that is the first unit of your class 12. So then the entire class 12 will be done. So basically I'm just left with 4 topics in your class 12, after which we'll have a quick revision. So it will be like questions, revision, etc. Alright, so health problems. So please do take care. So it is not a good time when you can have health problems because you are too young. So next thing, again, I guess the corona is making us feel its presence. So please guys, stay safe and take care. Alright. So once again, the cases are increasing, right? So yesterday alone, the cases have been the maximum of the entire pandemic. So the maximum toll for a single day was registered. So please take care. All right. Yes. So come on, guys, quickly do like, share, and subscribe the session. So let your friends know that, yes, I am teaching here on YouTube. Okay. Yes, so shall we talk about your environmental issues today? So I'm not going to saturate you with the entire topic. So I have divided the topic into 2-3 lectures because we have well enough time. So I will just teach the first half, then we'll solve some questions, and then we'll go to the second part. All right? Yes? Fine. So environmental issues. So this is lecture 1 of your environmental issues. So you can just sit back and enjoy because it is once again a story. So if you are a responsible citizen, so please pay attention to what is happening to the environment. Otherwise, if you just are in the mindset of getting marks, so just pay attention to each and every line I say. And if you're a responsible citizen, so please wake up to what we are doing. Alright, so lecture 1 of environmental issues. So what are the issues? So why should we talk about this environmental issues? Of course, we have made the beautiful earth sad right now, right? So we have polluted it so much that it is literally shedding tears and crying out, please save me. But still we are not bothered. We are too focused on human doing than human being, right? Yes, Anthony Abhi, hello, hi, a very happy good afternoon. So Anthony Abhi, thank you so much for joining my session. So please do like, share, and subscribe. Okay. So what are the issues that we are going to address? So nothing new. So all that you know before, all that you have read before. So it's once again a repetition. Maybe 1 or 2 things can be new out of the entire lot that you already know. So we are going to talk about air pollution and its control, water pollution and its control, the solid waste, agrochemicals and their effect, radioactive waste, greenhouse effect and global warming, ozone depletion, degradation by improper utilization, and finally it is deforestation. So the topics might look huge, but I guess you already know what is air pollution and its control. You know how air is getting polluted, right? And you know what is the measure, what is the control measures that you have to take. Yes, Harini, a very happy good afternoon. Thank you, Harini, for joining our session. Then you know what is water pollution and how you can conserve it. You know what are radioactive waste, so how should you properly dispose it so that it is not being spread to others. Then greenhouse effect, I guess you know greenhouse effect, global warming, ozone depletion. So nothing is new to you, right? So what am I going to do? So I'm just going to revise these topics, the terms that you already know. I'm just going to give you a glimpse. All right? Yes? Okay, so you give importance to both marks and our world. So you're my student. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Anthony Abhi. That was a great compliment. Okay, fine. Yes, even I do pay attention to the environment around this, because if we people who know so much do not pay attention, do not wake up, and if we people are ignorant, then you cannot blame the layman who's actually putting the earth into problem, right? All right, fine. So today we will talk about water pollution and its control. Then we'll talk about air pollution and its control. So these 2 things we will talk about today, because the terms may look pretty complex, but everything is not, we're not going to talk about in detail. So I'm not going to take an EVS class here. So in brief, so I will cover everything. And once again, the weightage of this chapter is 2%. Okay. Maya, Maya, hello, yes, good afternoon. So thank you so much, Maya, for joining us today. So please do like, share and subscribe. All right. Fine. So introduction. So what introduction do I give you? So how do I explain you what is pollution? So the most disastrous thing, the most cruel betrayal that you can ever do to Mother Earth is this. That is what we are going to discuss in this topic. Okay, so just sit back and listen to the story. So can anyone tell me what is the population of the world right now? Yes, what is the population of the world? At least population of India. Any idea? Billions of people. Yes, I agree. Yes, the population is ever increasing, so we don't seem to see a decline in the population rate, right? So population is ever increasing. Though Corona came, though Corona took many people away with it, everything is fine, but still the population is ever increasing, right? Yeah, can you tell me approximately? I don't want the exact number, so and so 0.000. No, can you tell me an approximate estimate of what is the world population right now? Yes, a quick. Yes, I know you guys have Google right with you. So quick. Come on, do me a quick Google survey and tell me what is the population of the world and what is the population of India. Quick. So the population is ever increasing, right? So which means your birth rate is increasing and your death rate is decreasing. Is that so? Huh? Come on, a quick estimate of the ever-growing population. So if your population is ever growing, so trillion in the world, okay, yes. So approximately, I guess 7 trillion. Okay, so if your population, okay, so what is 1 trillion in the world? Approximately, okay, yes. Fine. So if your population is ever, so that number that I asked for you to realize how huge we are. Okay, 7.8 billion, ma'am. Okay, Anthony Abhi. So it's almost an approx figure. Fine. So we are so much billion in a world, and if the ever increasing population continues, we'll have to face a demand for the food, for shelter, for all the natural resources, right? So there arises competition. Just because your population was ever increasing and we could not meet the food demands of so many people, so we came up with Green Revolution, which led to tripling of food supply. And we also came up with genetically modified crops. Even then, we are not able to meet the demand of people because the population has no control. It's increasing day by day, right? So when your population is growing, ever growing, so you have a demand for your food supplies, which in turn causes pressure on your environment and your natural resource. Yes. So, so if the population is growing, you need more food, you need more shelter. So we are taking out forest areas. We are exploiting the natural plants into genetically modified plants. So there is a huge pressure on the nature as well, right? So that leads to what is pollution. Okay. So I guess you all know what is pollution. So pollution is any undesirable change in physical, chemical or biological characteristics of air, land, water or soil. Okay, so here we have Satyendra giving us the exact number. In 2019, it is 7.7 billion and 2021, it is 7.8 billion. So you can never see a decrease, right? So it is always increasing. So our pyramid of population is always erect. Yes, it is always increasing, right? Fine. Okay. Sorry, our graph is always increasing, not our pyramid. Okay. So this is called as pollution, and that is how pollution occurs. Fine. So any undesirable change in your air, land, water or soil. So the agents which bring about such undesirable change are called as pollutants. So here the first slide was an introduction that was just for you to understand. But here you will remember what is pollution and what are pollutants. Ma'am, we know how to describe pollution. Yes, even I know that. But when you have a question saying pick out the incorrect statement, so then you will have definitions like this put up there. So please pay attention. So pollution is any undesirable change in your physical, chemical or biological characteristics of air, land, water or soil. Alright. So the agents which bring about such an undesirable change is called pollutant. So in a way to protect the pollution, in a way to save Earth, the government has come up with the Environment Protection Act, and it was published in 1986. It was to protect and improve the quality of our environment. Ma'am, will they ask here in NEET exam? Definitely not. So there are a lot of other things which a student has to pay attention rather than remembering dates. So this is not your history where you have to remember the timeline. So here you have to remember the logic and what are the methods of conservation. Alright, so remember there was an act called the Environmental Protection Act. Okay, but they won't ask you the Environmental Protection Act was proposed in which year. But when you have a statement saying the Environmental Protection Act came to existence, came to establishment in 1986, then you should know if the statement is right or wrong. So you don't have to as such remember it. So remember 98 in between. So yes, 1 or 2 years before you can remember as such. Alright. That is about pollution. So the first type of pollution is your air pollution that we are going to talk about. Yes. So it is harmful to all living organisms, not only to the human welfare society, but also to animals, to microorganisms, to plants. So everyone is getting affected. So just because human beings, one part of the entire living organisms on the globe, wants to live peacefully, wants to live luxuriously, how much harm are we doing to other living organisms? We are harming microbes, and hence they are mutating at a rate faster than we can even think and comprehend, right? We are harming animals, a hell a lot of animals are getting extinct. So next is plants. How much are we exploiting? So it is said that if you go by eating your organic foods, meaning directly fruits, vegetables from your plants, it is more healthy. But tell me, the carrot that you get today and the carrot that you got say 50 years before, are they of the same nutrient quality? Definitely not. Even your plants have slowly losing the nutrient quality. And one more thing, we use a lot of manipulations to grow or harvest a particular crop. So even today, if you live on a lifestyle comprising of only fruits and vegetables, even then it is certain that at least 1 or 2 diseases you will get. So these days you can't rely on anything so surely, right? So that is also one issue. So we human beings are in turn harming microbes community, animals community, plant community, just for us to live peacefully and luxuriously. But at the end of the day, I don't think any human is sleeping peacefully. So all of us are thinking about problems for the next day, right? So we are very well developed that we think about problems after a year, after 5 years, after 10 years, right? Yes. So that is really amazing at how we can actually think about problems and create problems to others, right? So we guys are not actually conscious. We guys are running towards something which is actually not certain, but I don't know where it is going to end. We want to take mock tests daily. Okay, so I guess you can download eCareerPoint app. There are some mock test series, so try if it's useful for you and then let me know. Okay, so are you there in Telegram, CareerPoint Telegram group? So please do join the Telegram group. All right, fine. So there is a link beneath my description box which says eCareerPoint Telegram group. So please do join the Telegram group. Mock test is for our ability. Yes, of course. So if you take up mock test, you will improve your speed. You can also know how thorough you are with the concept. Yes. So that's why I tell you, no. So more than reading the theory, please get exposed to questions. So 10 questions per day. So if you're preparing for both boards and NEET, so make sure at least 10 questions you solve for NEET in a day. That is more than enough. And you're preparing only for NEET. So then after breakfast 10 questions, after lunch 10 questions, after dinner 10 questions, okay? Because solving questions you just need a paper and you just need a pen or pencil, yes? So look at the question, just mark A, B, C, D. Yes, so once you're fresh, get back and check if your answers are right, okay? So please try following that way and don't take much stress, all right? So air pollution, it is harmful to all living organisms. So it reduces the growth and yield of crops and causes a premature death of plants. Yes, of course, practicing is more important, more and more important. So if you just read the textbook, you're not going to write your state board exam where you're going to write descriptive answers. So when you're facing a competitive exam, your thinking approach has to change. It should not be just inside the box, it should be out of the box. You should be able to think in a way where you can arrive at the answer. even if the question is tough. So please get exposed to a lot of questions, okay? So as many as possible. So gradually keep increasing. So 10 this week, 15 next week. So as you grow, so per day you should be able, so keep time also. Today 10 questions, 10 minutes. So tomorrow 10 questions, 8 minutes. So that should be your strategy, right? So you do not have a lot of time to waste. In NEET, you are getting 90 questions in biology, and if you take 90 minutes, gone. Not even 1 minute for one question. No, sometimes the questions can be tricky. Yes. So which means you have to read the question more than thrice to understand, and you'll have to read the answer if you do not understand the option. And you're also scared about negative marking. So what gives you the good reading capacity, good understanding capacity? So that is why I keep Menti. Even tough questions, I give you only 20 seconds so that you improve your speed. So that is more important. So along with speed, you should also be conceptually strong. So whichever way I ask you the process, you should be able to do because your concept should be strong. So I have read your NCERT now so many times because I have taught this chapter so many times, each chapter by now. But each time I teach a chapter, so each time I'm looking at it from a different perspective. So last class I taught you the mechanism of concentration of urine, right? So each time when I have to study, so even I am scared to teach. But now each time I revise the own concept that I have to teach, it's perfectly amazing. I look into the new dimension of that. So that is what with you also. The more you revise, the better you get. The more perfect you become, okay? About 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, so gradually reduce the time. So 10 questions, you should take a time limit of 5 to 6 minutes and not more than that. But initially, you cannot go at that speed. So first take 10 minutes, 10 questions, okay? Okay, if you are very slow, if the chapter is tough, let it go. So 10 questions, 15 minutes. But by the end of the week, it should be 6 minutes. So that should be your goal. Okay, you can take the same chapter, it does not matter, but you should improve from what you are right now. So that is what matters. So every day you solve questions, but today you take 1 hour, tomorrow you take 1.5 hours, then you are not doing smart work, you are just doing donkey work. Okay, so please don't do that. So please wake up and do smart work. So nothing is going to come crying. So after NEET exam, don't come and cry and say, I left my marks, I lost time, I didn't have time, I didn't understand. Yes, I can listen to your feelings, your emotions. Yes, even if you cry, I can listen. But what else can I do? Can I give you marks? Once gone is gone. Yes, you can re-attempt. But again, the time that you lost is lost forever, right? So please be aware, it's your life and it's you who are going to either enjoy or regret it. So it is up to you. Fine. So deleteriously they affect the respiratory system of humans and of animals. So one, air pollution is harmful to all living organisms. In case of plants, they cause your premature death, and in case of human beings, they cause respiratory ailments in human beings and animals. So harmful effects depend on the concentration of pollutant, sometimes how severe is the pollutant. Okay, so duration of exposure and the organism. For example, if 2 people are exposed to the same pollutant, one may catch a disease very easily because he is less immune, right? So it depends upon the organism, also the type of pollutant. So some pollutants are more harmful, like carbon monoxide. It has a very good affinity for your hemoglobin, right? So compared to other pollutants. Then the duration of exposure. So every day, if you breathe the same air, right? Then obviously you're going to get some chronic respiratory ailments. So that is also a problem, right? Yes. So this is about air pollution. When will I do chemistry? So I don't do chemistry. So I just teach biology. All right. So NEET done Tamil. Okay. So this is someone new. So hello, hi, and thank you so much for joining my session. So please do like, share, and subscribe. Well, I don't teach chemistry. I only teach biology, but I teach both class 11 and class 12 biology. All right, fine. So how do you control air pollution? First, we are addressing the problem, and then we're talking about how are we going to solve it, how are we going to overcome it. So several ways to remove the particulate matter. One is electrostatic precipitator. So it removes 99% particulate matter present in exhaust from your thermal power plants. Neha, hello, hi. So thank you, Neha, for joining my session. So please do like, share, and subscribe. I am teaching about environmental issues. All right, so to control air pollution, so we have various ways. So So one that has been implemented is your electrostatic precipitator. So what is this electrostatic precipitator? I don't know if this figure is clear to everyone, but this is your electrostatic precipitator. So what happens is you have electrodes here. Yes. So these electrodes are maintained at a particular voltage. So these electrodes, they produce corona. So this corona means a bunch of electrons. Okay, so they discharge a group of electrons. So these electrons attach to the dust particles. So now when the electron attaches with the dust particle, so they have they become negatively charged. When the electrons released by your electrodes, yes, when they attach with the dust particles become negatively charged. Okay, so in this electrostatic precipitator, you have collection plate that is grounded. So this collection plate attracts charged particles. Here a dust particle is charged, so it attracts the dust particle, in a way cleansing your air. Alright, so you understood how an electrostatic precipitator works. So should I repeat? So understand, electrostatic precipitator. So you have electrodes here. So these electrodes are maintained at a particular voltage and they release a bunch of charge. Okay, sorry, they release your corona. So here corona means a bundle of electrons. So these electrons attach with your dust particles. So when they attach with your dust particles, they give a net negative charge to your dust particles. Alright. So you also have ground plates here. Collection ground plates, that is collecting plates that are grounded to your earth. So these collecting plates, they attract charged particles. So here your charged particle is your dust particle, which is negatively charged, right? So they attract it and they cleanse your air. So this is how your electrostatic precipitator works. Alright? Yes. So this is one way. The other way, the next one is your scrubber. So this scrubber, what happens is, so here you have a passage of water or lime spray. So your exhaust is allowed to pass through. The exhaust before passing into the atmosphere, it is passed through this scrubber. Okay. So here you have water or lime spray. So which eliminates other group of gases. Gases like sulfur dioxide are getting eliminated in your scrubber. Fine. So you also have pollution. Central Board of Pollution Control, CBCP. So what is the Central Board of Pollution? Central Board for Controlling Pollution, right? So this says particles which have a size of less than 55 micrometers are very, very harmful and they can cause chronic illness. All right? Yes. So please remember these points in your air pollution. Fine. The next one is, okay, so there was this act which was passed, Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act. So before that, we also have to understand something. Your automobiles are the major source of pollutants these days, right? Yes, with the discovery, with the invention of your automobiles, with the invention of your roadways, so a lot of things was made possible, a lot of things was made feasible, and a lot of things got a lot easier, right? So without roadways, we cannot imagine anything, right? So earlier days, it was very tough, but now with the emergence or with the establishment of automobiles comes a problem as well, which is high pollution, right? Yes, ma'am, a very, very happy good afternoon. So thank you so much for joining my session. All right. So this is automobile. So what happens? So how do you control the pollution that is coming out from automobile? So one good way is using catalytic converters. So what are these catalytic converters? So why are automobiles causing pollution? So what is the logic behind automobiles causing pollution? So when you're traveling by your vehicle, when you see a truck before you, an auto before you releasing black soot, yes, so it is harmful to the environment, right? It is spoiling the entire air that is surrounding that. So that is called as pollution. So that is why your automobiles are prone to cause pollution. So what happens is sometimes your automobile leaves certain substrates unburnt, okay? So that causes the problem. So in automobiles, you have catalytic converters where you use heavy metals like your platinum, and your palladium or is your rhodium. So these heavy metals are used as converters here. So what happens is when your exhaust passes through these converters, catalytic converters, when your exhaust passes through these catalytic converters, so your exhaust will contain your unburnt hydrocarbons. Yes, it will also contain carbon monoxide and nitrogen oxide. So when exhaust containing your unburnt hydrocarbon, carbon monoxide and hydrogen dioxide passes through the catalytic converter, so this is converted into carbon dioxide plus water, this into carbon dioxide, and this into nitrogen gas, which are less pollutant. So that rather than releasing your unburnt hydrocarbon, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide into the atmosphere, when it is being converted into a simpler, harmless form, then that reduces your pollution. So that is the role of your catalytic converters. So when you're using catalytic converters, make sure you use lead-free fuel, either diesel or petrol. That should be lead-free, because your lead causes or inactivates your catalyst. Okay, PB is your lead, so you should not use that because it inactivates your catalytic converters. Alright, so I want you to remember this much about air pollution. First, remember how it is harming plants. It is causing premature death. In case of animals and humans, it is causing respiratory ailments. Point number 2, what are the ways that you can control? So remember electrostatic precipitator. The other one is scrubber. And point number 3 is remember the pollution code and what is the size of particulate matter that is harmful. And third, how automobiles are harmful and what is the role of catalytic converter here. So you should remember how it is getting converted. Alright, yes, is this done? Fine. So I am moving forward. Okay, so there was a case study in Delhi, because Delhi was among the top major pollutant city because it had more cars, right? So in Delhi, every family, every house will have a car. So if you have analyzed the patterns in Delhi, so it is easy. So when you go to Delhi around 9 o'clock in night, oh my God, how many cars? So it is as though it is a population of only cars. So when you look from a terrace or something, you can just see the roads flooded with cars. So many cars, and of course, just now we spoke how automobiles can act as a source of pollution. So that's why the Delhi government came up with a new solution. So it was pretty old, okay, so it was way back. But now mostly all the cars, all the buses in Delhi run by compressed natural gas, that is your CNG, right? So they do not use petrol or diesel, they use CNGs, right? So what is the advantage of CNG is that it does not leave any unburnt substances. It burns efficiently. That is, it burns your hydrocarbons efficiently, because in the previous slide when I was explaining, the exhaust contains unburnt hydrocarbons. Here it burns efficiently so that the pollution that comes out is comparatively less. Okay, so this has been implemented long before. The problem was not bringing up compressed natural gas, but the problem was laying down the stations for compressed natural gas. Where will you fill the gas? Okay, so now you have petrol pumps and your gasoline station, but to fill compressed gas, so you had to pull down pipelines. So that was the biggest challenge that they faced, but they have overcome successfully. Okay, it burns efficiently, only a little portion is left unburned. All right, okay, so it is cheaper than petrol as well as diesel. Okay, so this is your CNG. Thank you so much, Satyendra. So that was really sweet of you. Okay, fine. So with this, I am done with your air pollution and air control. So along with air pollution, you also have noise pollution. So how do you differentiate between a music and a sound? If the decibel increases, it is noise, right? So the normal level is 30 to 60 decibel. So when it is above 150 decibel, then your human ears will burst. So this is the decibel when your jet plane takes off. Okay, that at such a high decibel, it is not advisable for human beings. Alright, so noise pollution also comes under your air pollution. This much is clear. So we are done with air pollution. So now shall I move on into water pollution? Yes? Fine. So Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act was passed in 1974. If you are just able to recollect from the previous slide, Air Control and Prevention Act was passed in 1986. So when the act itself was passed in 1974, then imagine since when we were polluting water. For quite a long period of time, right? Yes. So for a long period of time, we have been polluting the water bodies. So of course, solids are easy to remove, but dissolved salts such as nitrates, phosphates and other nutrients and toxic metal ions, organic compounds are difficult to remove. Now leave of water bodies. So this water pollution is an old topic, right? It's an age-old topic. We know we are polluting the water bodies. These days, even drinking water is polluted, right? So if you go to some restaurant, some good restaurant, yes, they have your Bisleri bottles, they have your packed water bottles. Okay, so at least that you can trust. Sometimes when you go to a normal hotel, sometimes you look at the water, it is yellowish. Sometimes it is bluish. Oh my God, what is this colorful water? So these days, even your drinking water is highly polluted. Okay, so the solids, so if you have a contaminated water body, yes, you can see solid debris floating in your water. So even the solid debris by manual methods, you can remove them. But what about the dissolved salts such as nitrates, phosphates and other nutrients as well as metal ions? So they are difficult to remove and they are harmful to the aquatic lives as well. So of course, if you have organic compounds, then organic compounds can be degraded by your bacteria. So that is biochemical oxygen demand. Okay, you want a good hotel in Kota? I really have no idea about good hotel in Kota. For food, maybe I can tell a few, but other than that, I don't know which host a good lodging. I have really no idea. Do you have plans of coming to Kota? All right. So biochemical oxygen demand. So this is the way by which your microorganisms break down the organic compounds, right? So if you have water and if the water is being provided with constant nutrients, okay, and your bacteria starts growing. So if you have your dirty water or your wastewater. Okay, so your wastewater contains a lot of organic, inorganic, lot of nutrients. So if you constantly agitate, bacteria starts growing, right? So these are basically aerobic bacteria. So these aerobic bacteria will need oxygen to breathe. So where will they get oxygen from? So this wastewater contains your organic matter. So your bacteria will act on these organic matter to produce oxygen. So in a way, all the organic content in your wastewater is getting filtered. Understand? So in wastewater, your aerobic bacteria starts growing by if you supply constant agitation. Okay. So when I say aerobic bacteria, which means it needs oxygen, right? So where will it get oxygen from? So from the organic matter present in your wastewater. So if the number of organic matter goes down, so which means the pollution is, so this oxygen used by the bacteria is known as biochemical oxygen demand. So that is called as BOD. Okay, so in the next slide I have described BOD. So it's a measure of organic matter present in water. So the rate of uptake of oxygen by microorganisms in a sample of water is your biochemical oxygen demand. So greater the BOD, which means, so BOD is the measure of oxygen taken by your bacteria, right? So if the measure of oxygen is more, which means there were more amount of organic matter present, right? So greater the BOD, more is its polluting potential. All right. So you're going to come to Kota. Yes, welcome to Kota. But I don't know any hotel, anything about lodging which is good. I know only street foods which are very, very tasty. That's all. But yes, you can come. It's a very nice place. Okay. So greater the BOD, more is the polluting potential. All right. So this is about BOD. So among all these things in your polluted water body, only your organic compounds are acted on by your biochemical oxygen demand. What about other things? What about the other components? So how are you going to eliminate them? So algal bloom, so when your wastewater, when your water body houses so much of ions and metal ions and your nitrates, phosphates and others, it leads to the growth of algae. Okay, so presence of large amount of nutrients in your water enables the growth of algae, and these algae grow so fast that they cover the entire water body region and they cause algal bloom. So this algal bloom is harmful to the water quality as well as to the fish mortality. All right, because they take up all the oxygen, they take up all the space, so that is why it is very, very harmful. So have you seen green water everywhere? Yes. So if you go to old temples where you have a pond, it should be completely green because algae takes up the place, because the water has been polluted over time. So the presence of large amount of nutrients in water enables the growth of algae, causing algal bloom. All right. Yes, something like this. So this is your water hyacinth, which is known as your terror of Bengal, right? So it quickly covers the entire distance and it affects your water quality as well as your mortality of fishes. Clear? Yes? Fine. Okay, so the next term is biomagnification. Okay, so you have been in Kota for 3 years, all right. Okay, you have eaten a lot of pizza, so you're getting nostalgic about Kota. Yes? Okay, so if you come, so do meet me, all right? So biomagnification. So what is biomagnification? So magnification is understood. For example, if a particular pollutant gets accumulated in an organism because it cannot be metabolized or excreted, it gets passed on to the next trophic level and the amount keeps increasing. So this is more common with your mercury and your DDT. So DDT is a type of fertilizer. Alright, so when a particular organism consumes this, your organism will not be able to digest it, metabolize it or excrete it, okay. So it is directly passed on to the next trophic level, but when it is passed on to the next trophic level, the amount increases. Alright, so that is called as biomagnification. So few toxic substances present in industrial wastewaters causes biomagnification in the aquatic food chain. So biomagnification refers to the increase in concentration of toxicant at successive trophic levels. So example is your DDT or your mercury as well. So this disturbs the calcium metabolism in birds. So this causes thinning of eggshell, premature breaking of the egg and decline in the bird population. So please remember this. What are the effects of biomagnification? So when your fish consumes DDT, okay, and when your bird takes up your fish, so what happens? It disturbs the calcium metabolism in the birds, thinning of eggshells, and it causes premature breaking and decline in the bird population. All right. For example, in water, your DDT is present in this concentration. ppm is parts per million. Okay, so that is how you measure them. So when a zooplankton grows, it will have increased concentration. When it is consumed by a small fish, again the concentration increases because it is getting accumulated. It is not getting excreted. It is not getting metabolized, right? Then a large fish, again the concentration increases, and finally in birds it is 25 parts per million, which is very, very severe, right? So this is called biomagnification. So the last term is your eutrophication. So these are ways by which your water is getting polluted. So first one, you have a lot of waste in your water and only your organic matter is being excreted by your bacteria, that is biochemical oxygen demand. Then you had the problem of algal bloom. Next, it was your biomagnification. Third one is eutrophication. So eutrophication is the natural aging process of your lake. So initially when your lake is there, it has less amount of nutrients. So you do not have more of life. So gradually it starts to bloom. Okay. So natural aging of lake by nutrient enrichment of its water. So depending on the climate, the size of the lake and other factors, natural aging may take a span of thousands of years. So initially your lake is very naive, so it has no living organisms, it has less amount of nutrients. Slowly your phytoplanktons come into picture, then your zooplanktons, then you have a lot of nutrients in it, so large fishes grow, right? So slowly it becomes polluted, that you have lot of nutrients, that algal starts blooming, and initially then later it gradually gets converted into land. So that is how a water body is being converted into a land, and that is eutrophication. And when human activities help accelerate this process of eutrophication, it is called as accelerated or cultural eutrophication. So I agree, eutrophication is a natural process and will take thousands of years, but because of the anthropological activities, that is man-made activities, so this process of eutrophication is accelerated. So at the end of eutrophication, your lakes, that is your water body, is being converted into your land body. Okay, so that is the problem. So this is called as cultural or accelerated eutrophication. Fine. So these are the ways by which your water body is getting polluted. So what are the measures that you can take? Yes, so purify water. So make up a sewage treatment plant before you actually put water into the natural water body, before you actually release water into the natural water body. So these are ways, and one case study is given about foam, Friends of Akartika Marsh, right? So where in the marshy areas the water was properly purified before being released into the natural water body, right? Yes. Okay, so I stop here. So I have completed air pollution and water pollution. So based on that, we have 5 questions. See if you can solve those 5 questions. So question number 1, which of the following is a secondary pollutant? Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and then ozone. O3 is ozone, right? So what is a secondary pollutant? So secondary pollutants are produced from primary pollutants by photochemical reactions. Okay, so they are the primary pollutants. So primary pollutants are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. Okay, so I have given you the first 3 options as primary pollutants. So obviously, which is your secondary pollutant here? Yes, of course, your ozone, your aerosol, your dust. Sorry, your ozone, your smog, they are all your secondary pollutants, all right? Your aldehydes, they are your secondary pollutants. So here your answer is ozone. So ozone is your secondary pollutant, all right? Yes, Anthony Abi, you're right. Question number 2, a scrubber in the exhaust of a chemical industrial plant removes gases like sulfur dioxide. PM is particulate matter of size 5 micrometers or above. Gases like ozone and methane, particulate matter of size 2.5 micrometer or less. So which is the answer here? A scrubber. What is the role of your scrubber? It has a water or a saline spray, right? So what are the type of gases it can remove? So an exhaust passes through your scrubber, right? So what are the gases it can remove? Yes, it's an easy question. So it can remove gases like sulfur dioxide, because while teaching I told you, so gases like sulfur dioxide can be removed from your scrubber, right? Is this clear? Yes. So shall I go to question number 3? So in a coal-fired power plant, electrostatic precipitators are installed to control the emission of what? Nitrogen-based oxide, suspended particulate matter, carbon monoxide, or sulfur dioxide. Yes, 2D, yes, both of you, 2 is D, okay. So Anthony says A. Which is electrostatic precipitator? Sulfur dioxide is your scrubber, non-electrostatic precipitator. So scrubber, sulfur dioxide like gases in case of a scrubber, not electrostatic precipitator. In case of an electrostatic precipitator, I was talking about particulate matter of less than 2.5 micrometers in size, right? So here the answer will be suspended particulate matter, because in an electrostatic precipitator you control suspended particulate matter. Yes, because dust gets attached to your collected plates, right, which are ground. Alright. So Anthony, is your doubt clarified? Is it clear between electrostatic precipitator and your scrubber? Yes, good afternoon sir. So thank you so much for joining my session. Okay, so question 3 is B. Yes, you're right. This is suspended particulate matter. Alright. Okay, fine. So going forward to question number 4, what is the intensity of sound in a normal conversation? So now you and I are talking. So what is the intensity of the normal sound? Yes, any idea? So while teaching about noise pollution, I give the exact decibel. So dB is decibels, right? So that is how the sound is measured. Yes, now tell me. So what is the answer here? So don't confuse. So scrubber only removes, so scrubber is yes. So remember, it removes sulfur dioxide, SO2. Okay. So your exhaust, before getting released into the atmosphere, it is passed through a scrubber. So scrubber has a water or a lime spray layer. So it absorbs your sulfur dioxide gas and evaporates it. Okay. Yes, so that is your scrubber. Your precipitator holds up your dust particles, because in precipitator we spoke about electrodes, we spoke about collector plates, we spoke about charge. So dust is associated with charged particles. So remember that. So electrostatic current is there, your dust particles is there. Okay, so that is how you differentiate between your scrubber and your precipitator. Fine? Clear? So here what is the answer? So it is 30 to 60 decibels. Alright? Clear? Fine. So major aerosol pollutant in jet plane emission is what? Major aerosol pollutant in jet plane emission is which of the following? Sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, or your fluorocarbons. So your jet plane aerosol pollutant is your fluorocarbons, right? So remember this, just like from your air conditioners you have your chlorofluorocarbons, in your jet planes you have this aerosol pollutant which is your fluorocarbons. Okay, so I just got 5 questions because I have not completed much portion of this topic, right? So with respect to the topic that I have covered, I have got questions. So in next class, when I cover the next 3 topics, I will get questions based on that. Alright, clear? So this was my last slide. So next is yes. So if you understand how I taught, the way that I taught you this chapter, if you really understood, so please do like, share and subscribe. So I will meet you tomorrow. So tomorrow we are going to start with locomotion and movement in your class. No, we are still left with a portion of your excretory system, right? So we are yet to talk about other organs involved in excretion and the disorders of your excretory system. So tomorrow we will say a goodbye to your excretory system. Alright, so please do join me tomorrow at 3 p.m. for my lecture in excretory system. So today we are done for the lecture, and thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. It was great interacting with you. So have a great evening ahead. And this is me signing off. So take care and bye-bye. Yes, bye-bye.